If you are shopping for a dad who likes to play chess, or if you are a dad who likes to play chess, then this video is for you. I'm going to give you a list of my top 10 gifts for chess players, and you can use this as an idea list if you're shopping for your dad, or if you are a dad, you could use this as a list of things to give to your family members so that they can hopefully get you something that you actually want. I think a lot of chess players are a little bit misunderstood when it comes to getting gifts. I think some people think that, like, well, they already have a chess set, so I guess they have everything they need. Or sometimes they think, oh, they like chess, I'll just buy them a chess set. And it's not really the type of chess set that you would actually want to get. So hopefully at the end of this video, you're going to have a good idea of what some gifts are that chess players would actually like to receive. I'm going to break down all these items into 3 categories based on what your budget is. So we're going to have the $0 to $30 range, the $30 to $100 range, and then above $100. So whatever you're looking to spend, there's going to be something here for you. There are timestamps below for those budget ranges, so you can jump around wherever you need to. But having said that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so the first item on our list is, you guessed it, a chess set. But not just any chess set, a nice one, and an official tournament one that you can actually use in tournaments, and that's actually high quality. So what I'm going to do is jump over here to share my screen with you. I'm on houseofstaunton.com. Now, House of Staunton is kind of the gold standard for high quality chess sets. There's only a few sites that I trust when it comes to like buying legitimate high quality chess sets, and this is one of them. So the first item that I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to show you 3 different sets here to kind of give you some options, but they all fall under the chess set category. But the first one we have here is over here on the left, regulation tournament chess pieces, single weighted. Okay, so this is extremely important because if you don't have a weighted set, you are going to notice it. So what does this mean? I have this, I'm going to try to show it on the camera. So let me jump back over here to full screen. This is a king, and I'm going to bring this close so you can see. In the bottom, there's this hole, and I've taken off the felt. Normally there's a green piece of felt covering this, so you don't see that, and there's a weight in there. But this is where they add the weight. So they put a piece of steel, or I think it's lead actually, in there, and it gives the pieces some weight, so they're heavy. And that's really important for 2 reasons. Number one, they just feel a lot nicer when you're playing and you're moving the pieces. They have some weight to them. It just feels better than the plain plastic that doesn't have any weights. And then also, when you're playing speed chess, you're playing really quickly. If you don't have the weights, those pieces are going to topple over, they're going to fall off the board, they're going to get knocked all over the place. The ones with the weights do a much better job of standing up straight. They don't tip over as easily. And so it's much nicer to play with a weighted set if possible. Now, that being said, there are 2 different types of weighted pieces. So let me jump back over here. Again, this is the single weighted, okay, it's $12. And then if we scroll down right here, you can see over here, this is triple weighted, okay? So it just means that the weight that they put in the bottom of the pieces is heavier. And I much prefer the triple weighted. You can tell a difference. It's only $4 or more, and this set's probably gonna last you for years and years. So I definitely recommend going with the triple weighted if you can. And then if you scroll down further, there's also this one over here, which is $20 on the bottom right here, but it comes with the case. And so if you don't have a case or you want that, then this is what I would recommend. So depending on what your budget is, if you want to get your dad, a nice chess set to actually that they can use at tournaments or even just playing casually, this is what you want to get. Okay, once you play on a set like this, you'll never want to go back to kind of the cheap one that maybe you got at Walmart or that you've just had. These are really nice, high quality, and they last forever. I mean, some of these sets I've had for like 10, 15 years. And so super high quality, definitely recommend a chess set. And you've got some nice options here, all under $30. And by the way, I should mention all the products that I'm mentioning, they're going to be linked in the description below. And yes, that is an affiliate link, so it does help support the channel. So if you are going to buy one of these, I would appreciate it if you actually use one of those links. But of course, you're free to not do that if you don't want to. All right, let's go to product number 2. All right, next on the list, we have a chess DVD. And if you don't know what a DVD is, then you must be a lot younger than I am. But they have quite a few on the same site here. My favorite one is this one right here on the left, Searching for Bobby Fischer. This is one of my favorite movies growing up, and I still enjoy watching it now. It's about a kid who's kind of a chess prodigy, and he goes through his life, and pretty entertaining. If you're a chess player, I think you'll appreciate it. Of course, there are other ones here, so feel free to check that out. But this is, like I said, my favorite. I've actually put some of these clips on the channel from time to time. And so if you've, I know some people have asked me which movie did that come from, so that's where they came from. All right, next on the list, we have an analog chess clock. So this is going to depend on how serious your dad or whoever you're shopping for is about chess, if they need a clock or not. But they're very nice to have. And I normally I would recommend a digital clock. You can see these are analog here with the dials, kind of the old school, you know, clocks, and then the digital obviously is digital. The digital clock recommendation is coming later in this video, but it's not falling in the 0 to 30 range, and so that's why I'm going to recommend an analog if you're trying to keep it under $30. And my recommendation would be this one right here in the middle, the Diamond Quartz analog clock. It's 25 bucks and it's pretty good. You put a little battery in the back of it, and then, you know, for most cases, this is going to work okay. Now, some of the tournaments that you're going to go to will require a digital clock depending on what the time control is. And so definitely if you can afford it, I would certainly recommend digital, but I know some people just need it for more of a casual experience. You're just playing some games with very simple time controls. This works totally fine. Okay, and I used to have one of these as well, and I had no problems with it. So, but yeah, just like I said, the digital clock recommendation is coming later in the video. All right, next on the list is actually a pretty unique product, which I actually found when I was preparing for this video, but it's called Chess Opening Playing Cards. And it's basically just a deck of playing cards. You got 52 cards, but each one has a different chess opening on it. So you can see this example here, the Nimzo Indian Defense. You can see very quickly what it is, what the moves are. And this is something that growing up, I wish I would have had this. We played a lot of cards. I played pinochle with my grandparents, and there are so many times I was just staring at cards. You know, it would have been so cool to be able to just look through the chess opening while I was playing. That would have been great. And so I think this is great. I mean, it's $8. You can't beat that. And if you know someone who plays a lot of cards, this might be a great gift for them. All right, next on the list, we have a chess demonstration board. Now, if you look at the bottom, sort of the middle, bottom and middle right here, these are what are called demonstration boards. So I'm going to click on this one. This is the one that I used to have growing up. I would take it when I would teach at schools. And so there's two ways you can use this. First of all, it just hangs on the wall, and you can see you've got the chess pieces and you can move them around. So the first way that you can use this is if you are a teacher. So that's what I used to do. I used to take it to schools and I would do lessons, and I would just hang it on the wall, and all the kids in the class could very easily see the board, and you can move the pieces around or set up a position or do whatever you wanted to do. But the other way you can use this is if you work in like an office with some colleagues or whoever, even at your house, if you want to have like an ongoing game, but you don't want to leave a board set up taking up table space or whatever, you could hang this somewhere and you can have your ongoing game with your friends or coworkers or whatever. And that's kind of a cool, and I would say, you know, kind of a unique way to have an ongoing chess game. And there's two styles. This is the one that I had. There's just a slot that the pieces slide into. And then there's also, if we go back, the other one here on the bottom right is a magnetic one. So whatever you're, whatever you prefer, but those are pretty cool and kind of a unique thing that not a lot of people have. So that could make a pretty nice gift, and it's not, super expensive either. All right, now it's time to move on to the $30 to $100 range, and we're going to start with a travel chess set. Now, normally when you think travel chess sets, you think very cheap, not very well made. The pieces are usually just like a little sticker almost that stick onto a magnetic thing, or they're not usually awesome. And so one of the things that I like about these wooden ones is that they actually look like a legit chess set. So this circle one would probably be my favorite. It's $20 cheaper than the square one, but whatever you prefer here. But let's take a look at this one. I mean, look at how nice these pieces look. This looks pretty good for a travel chess set that you can just throw in your backpack and take on the plane or wherever. So I think this is a great gift for somebody who travels a lot. They are magnetic, which is super important because if you're on a plane or whatever, you don't want them flying all over the place. And so this would be my favorite. Like I said, a lot of the travel chess sets that I've used in the past haven't been very good. If I did have to buy another one going forward, this is what I would get right here. All right, next on the list is a chess paperweight. Now, this is something that would be great for somebody who has an office job, who you don't even actually have to be a chess player if you're just kind of interested in it. I could see people putting this on their desk and it looks kind of cool. Unfortunately, most of the nights are sold out, and you can see why. I mean, that looks pretty awesome. These are 6 inches tall, so that's about as tall as my hand, so that's very, very tall. They do have the queens and the kings in stock. Personally, I'd probably go for the king if I was going to get one. I think this is pretty cool, like I said, for somebody who has an office job, which I used to have, but I don't anymore. But even now, I think this will look cool on my desk. It is a little bit more pricey, but definitely could be an idea for some people. All right, next on the list, we have an electronic computer chess set. So if you don't know what that is, that's what these are right in front of you. It's basically a chessboard, but it's hooked up to a computer. And so it's kind of like you're playing on a normal board, but you're actually playing against a computer. Funny story about this. This is how I learned how to play chess when I was like 2 to 4. So when I was 2 to 4, my dad used to have one of these. He didn't really have anyone to play against at the time, so he played against the computer, and it had these little red lights that would light up and show where the pieces, would move to. And I just thought it was fascinating as a 2-year-old, I guess. So he would let me sit on his lap, and I played with him. And that's kind of how I learned. By the time I was 4, I could actually play a game of chess. So these are pretty cool if you don't have someone to play against. And so if your dad plays chess, but nobody else in the family plays chess, this could be a great idea. There's 3 versions here. Now, this category of products is $30 to $100, so I'm going to recommend this one over here on the right. But I just want to point out the difference between these 3 that you're looking at has to do with the strength of the computer. So if you look at this number right here, USCF 16, that means that this computer is rated about 1600. So if you are pretty new to chess and you're not, you don't have a lot of experience, this is going to be just fine. You're not going to be 1600. You're going to have a hard time beating this. If you've been playing chess for a couple years, you're pretty talented, maybe your rating is already above 1600, then you're going to want to consider one of these. So 2200 is what my rating is. So if I were to play against this computer, it would be pretty even. I'd probably win half the games, lose half the games. And then this one over here on the left, 2400, is a decent amount better than me. So I'm going to be losing most of the games I play against this one. So depending on what strength, chess engine you want, that's the difference. And that's why these are so much more expensive, because of the built-in chess engine that makes it a stronger player. But for most people, I think you're going to be just fine with the 1600. And if you're rated higher than 1600, you'll probably know that. If you don't know what your rating is, then definitely you can go with this one. Right now, we're going to move on to the above $100 category, and some of these products are super, super nice. So I know it's a lot of money to spend on a chess product, but when you kind of see what some of these do, I think you're going to understand. So first of all, let's talk about the Chronos digital clock. So this is what I had growing up, and this served for my entire chess career. Like once I got the Chronos, I think it lasted, I don't know if it was 10, 15, 20 years. I believe I misplaced it before it actually broke. Okay, so they're super, super durable. And let me just click on this one. This is the version that I had. They come in 2 styles. This is the one that has the black buttons. They are just, you press them down. There's also, if we go back, this version over here on the left, which is the touch sensor. And so you actually have to touch the sensor with your finger. You can't like use the piece or it won't actually register. So it's just a matter of preference, totally up to you. But these things are super durable. You can't really tell from the picture, but the color is actually painted metal, and it's really solid. I mean, you could use it as a weapon if you needed to. And there's only 3 buttons, which is one of the nice things about the Chronos. They're very straightforward, and yet they have one of the, I think they have like the most modes that you can set of almost any clock. And so there's a system where you hold the middle one down, and then you can start pressing the side ones, and you can flip through to different modes. Then you can just sort of double tap the middle to do different things. It comes with the guidebook. You don't have to like know that right now. You can even ask when you go to a tournament. The tournament directors can always set them for you. But once you kind of figure it out, it's very intuitive and makes a lot of sense. And like I said, I grew up with this. Great experience. This is by far my favorite of any clock that I've used. And I've played with a lot of different chess clocks over the years. And this is definitely the best one. And I know, like, I remember when we bought it, it was like, man, $110 for this. Like, is it really worth it? But when it lasts you like 15 years and it's still, in great condition, it makes sense. So anyway, if you're in that budget and you're looking to get the top of the line chess clock, this is what I would recommend. All right, last but certainly not least on our list, we have a luxury chess set or luxury chess pieces. So, and by the way, I should mention these sets can range in price all the way up to several $1,000s. I'm talking like, I think $13,000 or $14,000 is the highest price set, if I remember correctly. Don't worry, I'm not going to be recommending that one. But there's so much that goes into making some of these high quality sets, and so the prices can get quite high, but they're usually super, super nice. So a couple of things that you'll want to pay attention to if you are going to look at some of these high-end luxury sets. Number one, the knights are a super important part of the chess set. And sometimes the knights can even make up 50% of the entire cost of the set. And if you look at the detail in the knights, that, you can see why, right? So this is an example. This is just one that I like. It's $209, which is a lot, but it's not like some of the most expensive ones. But I like the knights in this one. Let's see if there's a close-up here of the knights. There you go. You can see there's a lot of detail in the mane and the teeth, and it just kind of looks, I think, pretty interesting. And so this is one of my recommendations. This is called the Sussex. The other thing besides the knights that you want to pay attention to is this number over here. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Let me slide this over a little bit. There you go. 3.75 inch king. Okay, so how big the pieces are and how tall the king is another important consideration. And a lot of the more expensive sets, the kings are even taller. So 3.75 inches is, I believe, what I have right here. So this is kind of the set that you see behind me. It's a decent size. It's not super tall, but it's, you know, pretty nice. A lot of the sets have 4-inch and 4.4 inch, and so you can imagine that it's, you know, even taller than what I'm showing you right here. So you've got the knights, you've got the height of the king, and then you also have the weight. So a lot of these pieces are heavily weighted, kind of like I talked about earlier, and the more weight they have, that can also add to the cost. And then also the type of wood that they are created in. This one, yeah, I believe this one, it's just these two colors, but some of the other ones, yeah, this one doesn't have the option. I'll show you some of the other ones in just a second. They have different types of wood, and that can add to the price as well. So there's a whole bunch of these luxury sets on this House of Staunton. You can check it out for yourself. I'm just going to link my top 3. This is one of them. This is one of the lower priced ones that I think looks really nice. And so if I was, you know, going to get one, this would be one that I would consider. One thing to note right now, this is just the pieces that I'm looking at. So if you, let me see if I can scroll so you can see that. See, this is just the pieces. You would have to buy a board separately. Some of these sets do come together with a board, so you'll want to kind of look around, but just keep that in mind. Like, some of these pieces are separated, so you will need a nice board to go along with it. And depending on which size pieces you get, you'll probably want a board with 2.5-inch squares. Okay, and this can get confusing. There's a lot that goes into it, but you know, if you're not sure, I would recommend maybe just going for a set. So when you look at the top here, there's chess pieces, there's chess boards. You can just go to chess sets and then go to the luxury wood sets. I don't know if you can see it on my screen here. Let me do that again. Chess sets, luxury wood sets. This is going to come with the board. So if you're not sure, or if you think that your dad or whoever you're shopping for doesn't have a board, this is where you would go. All right, guys, and here's another one of my favorites. It's called the Canterbury, and you can see much more expensive. It is on sale, $4.95. But look at these pieces. I mean, I think these are just super nice. Even the knights. Let's get to the close-up of the knights. Knights are looking really good. I don't know. I just really like this. Also, it does come in this. Let's see, what is this wood? Blood rosewood, which I think is really nice. It does add more to the price, but I think that looks really good. And so this is just another option for you. I like all of these pieces a lot. And so there's that one. And then also, here we have the Modena. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I love these knights. I mean, look at that. That just looks super, super good. It also comes in the blood, what is it? Blood rosewood. Can't remember that. But yeah, I think this looks amazing. And so this is another option for you. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on this one, and I won't spoil it, but yeah, this looks really nice as well. All these will be linked, and of course there's other ones, so don't feel like you have to get these. If you're gonna, obviously, if you're gonna spend that much on a set, look around. There's a lot out there. So just remember, these are just the pieces, so you will need to add a board, or you can search, like I mentioned earlier, for the sets which come with a board. And there's quite a few options as far as the board as well, depending on which type of wood you want, what the border is going to look like, what color, all that good stuff. By the way, one thing I should mention is be careful if you are going to be shopping around for these high-end luxury wooden chess sets. There are a lot of sites out there that pretend to be legitimate, and it's actually just a cheap wooden set that they've put a high price tag on. So do be careful. Like I said, there's a handful of sites that I trust when it comes to this. House of Staunton, let me move it over there. You can see House of Staunton is one of the ones that I do trust. So I'm comfortable recommending the sites here. I know that you're going to be getting what they say that you're going to be getting. I can't speak for some of the other sites. And so just do your own research is all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to buy from here. Obviously, shop around, but make sure you do, be careful with some of those other sites. Hey guys, and one thing I forgot to mention, there's currently a 20% off on everything Father's Day sale going on House of Staunton. So you can just use code DAD and yeah, take advantage of that. I assume that that's valid until Father's Day, and then I guess it probably ends, but that's currently on now. So if you are going to get something, don't forget, make sure you you use that at checkout. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, you can also consider getting your dad a Chess Vibes course. So I'm on the Chess Vibes course page right now. If they're brand new and would like to learn how to play chess, you can start here with beginners. If they've been playing a little while, but they need some work on the strategy part, you've got the 1000 to 1500 strategic thinking course, which is definitely my most popular course. And then if they're more advanced and want something to play as black, an opening system, you've got the King's Indian. And I am working on another course that is almost done. It's for white players. So if you play e4 as white, you're definitely going to want to check it out. It's kind of in between these, or maybe the same level as the King's Indian, but a lot of time has been put into that, and you definitely don't want to miss that. I will include a coupon code for Father's Day in the description below to all of the courses. So if you are interested, or if your dad's interested, or if you're just interested because you're just going to get it yourself, whatever the case may be, that'll be down there for you. Thank you guys for watching. If I missed out on anything that you think would make a great Father's Day gift, please let me know, and let me know in the comments, and I'll read through those. But thank you guys. Stay sharp, play smart, take care, and happy early Father's Day.